That's the best lighting. Hey guys, just waiting for somebody to jump on so I know that, there we go. Hey guys. Hey, it's Alphamar. Hey Patrick. Listen, you're gonna appreciate this quick message I got for the family more than most anybody who jump on here. Hey guys, it's Alphamar coming to you live. I just want to have a conversation for all those who are quarantined at home. I'm near my house, not too far, in my community, and I just want to make a point. I was on my way actually out. I came out to go drop some packages off at the post office for a few people who ordered some things from me online. Thank you. Shout out to those who appreciate you guys who help me keep my business afloat. I'm not in the shop right now, but I am still getting online orders, and as long as the post office is open, I'll get them out to you guys under maliksfashions.com. all kind of good stuff. I'll talk to you about that in a minute, about the things that people are buying online right now that could help you, benefit you as well. But I want to make this point. We hear all the time, faith without works is dead, right? Faith without works is dead. So I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I am in the parking lot of Mount Enon Baptist Church, and for those of you who are familiar with like Piscataway Road, Clinton area, you guys know exactly where I am. Beautiful church, really nice, nicely built. It's not that old. You can really tell. I can't remember how long they've been here up and running, but you can usually tell by the trees. A lot of the trees look youthful. But anyway, my point that I'm about to make is I'm not picking on anybody. I promise I'm not. So all you guys who looking at this and saying, oh my God, that's my church, that's great. I'm not knocking anything. I just want to make a point. This church is, I'm confident, is black owned, because I'm in Prince George's County, and last I checked, I think it's like 78% of the county is black. You know, black residents make up almost 8 out of 10 people who live in this county. Okay, so we pretty much run the thing as far as citizenship is concerned, as far as population, I should say, is concerned. So here's a black church. Check this out. As far as the eye can see, farmland. And if you guys are familiar with the area, you know who owns this farmland. Let me see if I can zoom in. They out there working now. It's just sort of tractors moving about, but they're growing. Across yonder, way down there, I don't know if you can recognize that, but there's a grocery store. They got a grocery store inside where they cut meat, and they bakery foods. They have produce, all that. I see a few homes there, but I want to make a point. Down the road, about a mile or so down the road, they own a liquor store. You guys know it's called BK Miller. So the same Miller farm that's here owns the liquor store down the road, BK Miller's, right? From what I understand, I can't prove it because I don't know for a fact, but from what I've been told, that they are really heavy into the political arena in this county. So they sit on boards and civic things, and the family who owns this farm, BK Miller, the people who own this farm are Europeans, family. So we praying and we worshiping and we tithing and we fellowshipping in faith, and they getting the work in. They putting the work in. So again, I'm not picking on anybody because I include myself in this conversation. My point is, Where's our farmland? Where's our grocery stores? Where's our, if you prefer, I don't personally, but your liquor stores. So my point is, they getting it in while we fellowshipping, and that's a real thing. I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm showing you the difference and how they set themselves up for generations, and how they got acres and acres and acres of land to be able to farm, while right now we cleaning off the shelves at the grocery store, and they can just go right outside and and have 8 bundles and bundles of whatever they want. So I want to put that in our minds, because now more than any time in my own lifetime, the thought of what the future lies for us should be prevalent on all our minds. What are we doing, really? Man, where are we going from here? Really? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna, after it's all said and done, go back to normal? I personally don't see that happening. I don't see where, we weren't in a place of normalcy before this. So, but I don't see that what's currently taking place in the world. I want to emphasize that. It ain't just here. It ain't just the U.S. It's in the world. What's currently taking place in the world is not going to change the dynamics forever. How that's going to look, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I do know is that we shouldn't expect things to go back to the way they were before this. This is a conversation, so I want you guys to join in and let me know. Patrick is on. Patrick, you can speak of what I'm talking about more than most anybody on this stream, I'm sure, because y'all down there in Mississippi getting it in. They got farmland. They got the strong black fist in the air, working on behalf of the people. You guys want to tune in to Patrick and folks like him who are sharing and sharing and doing more than just talking, really. Let's see. Hey guys, I appreciate you guys chiming in. I want to get thanks Patrick for tuning in and sharing. La 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 la. Please buy black. Who said that? Kwame. Kwame, you're a prime example of doing that. You are excellent in doing that. We travel the same circles, Kwame and I, and whenever I see him out and about the different functions and lectures and things like that, and there's vendors set up, I watch him go from person to person supporting, and not only does he do that, then he goes on his own platform and shares what he has purchased from vendors, encouraging others to do the same. That's important. This platform here that we have right now, we ain't even sure how long we're gonna have it, but that's another thing. What are we doing with the tools that are provided to us, that are right now given to us? You know what I'm saying? We can sit around and laugh and dance and drink and smoke till the cows come home, but how is that going to benefit our children, our next generation? What are we doing for them? How are we setting them up? I just showed you what they doing for theirs. So thank you, Kwame. Yes, that is so important right now and forever and always. I'm hearing like the catchphrase right now is the reset button. So people are saying, I'm hearing that a lot, that's like the catchphrase. It's a reset button. It's time to hit the reset button. This is a good time to start fresh, start anew, start all over again. And this is a really good time to get your head in gear as to, okay, so let's, people are more and more coming together in unison right now. and helping one another and supporting one another. So we're at a good position to be able to latch on to some things, some tangible things in this society. Those of us who are choosing to stay here, there's a lot of folks back in their bags, shawty. Those of us who choose to stay in this society, we're in a prime position to be able to link arms and come together and build something. You know, because right now, with this economy being what it is, how the Mr. Farrakhan would say, America's for sale. That's real. America's for sale right now. So the goal is, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We gonna keep on looking to them to save our lives? You can see they don't know. If you paying any kind of attention to what's going on up on Capitol Hill and the political arena, they ain't got a clue. You and I know just as much as they do. That's real talk right now. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, Europeans running it. Yeah. So I'm going to turn this around again to show those who may have just came on that my point that I just made, that I want to reiterate. Luke Vaughn says, serious progress by others. Hooping, hollering, clapping, and shouting for us. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's real. And I don't want... I ain't trying to bash people, because ain't none of us in a better position than the other. You know what I'm saying? No one person can rise above the condition of their people. Let me repeat, no one person can rise above the conditions of their people. So I'm saying that to say, I'm not using this as an example to bash on Christian people or churchgoers and people like that. There's a lot of people whom I love and adore that go to church every Sunday. That's not the point I'm making here. The point I'm making is, Scripture says faith without works is dead. So the only point I'm making for all of us, me included, is that it's time for us to do more than what we've been doing. Because we ain't accumulating much in the way of economic progress in this society. And all the stats point to that. You know what I'm saying? You go pull up any stat. You know, for every $1 a European makes in this society, black people make 20 cents. You know what I'm saying? They're ahead of us leaps and bounds in all kind of ways. And so we got to start asking ourselves, why? Why is this? Why is it? Because we know oppression and racism and the foot in our neck and all that. I get all that. I'm not denying none of that. But at the same token, what are we going to do about all of that? Are we going to just sit and complain and gripe that they got it all and we can't get ahead? Or are we going to make moves, our own moves, to be self-sufficient and self-independent? And this, in my opinion, is a better time than any to do it. You know, a lot of you on there homeowners, what you doing with your yard space? I know for me, this spring, I got my seeds growing right now. They are sprouting. And my goal, my plan for the future in this arena is to have a small garden. I'm starting small because I don't know a thing about it. That's why I say I'm not taking myself out of this equation when I make this analysis. I'm included in that too. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing right now? So I'm going to be starting my small garden, and when I get my footing, you know, when my thumb turns a little more green, and I'm able to produce from the earth, and it's coming. Ain't no when or I'm gonna try or possibly, or no, it's coming for me. When I'm gonna produce the things from the earth that the earth provides for us, then my goal is to barter with other people in my community who are doing the same. There's an app you guys may or may not know about. It's called Nextdoor. excellent app. Somebody hit me onto it. They sent me something in the mail. Said, join us next door. So all your neighbors are on this. I'm sorry, it's not an app. It's a website. Join the website. And when you go on, you got your whole community, or everybody who's in the community who decided to join in. It's like a Facebook for your community. So you can post things that's going on in the community, or share pictures, or maybe like now they're talking like, such and such store down the street got toilet paper. Y'all go get some for us all over with. You got a lot of community politicians and people like that are on them as well, and they share things related to the like coronavirus and where you can go get testing. And so I love it because it brings us closer together, and I'm talking to the people right close to me. So they allow, so if people giving away stuff for free. Hey, I got a couch I don't need no more. And they type it on the community and somebody close by come get it. So I recommend you guys sign up for that. It's called Nextdoor. I guess it's nextdoor.com. I got a little letter in the mail from one of my neighbors telling me to join, and I did, and I'm so glad I did. And because I said all that to say, because what I plan to do is, once I do get these crops, because I'm sure, as the earth does, it's so plentiful, it gives you so much. So once I have the crops and I have more than enough for me and my household, I plan to go on Neighbor and find out who in the community is growing crops themselves and who would like to barter with me. Hey, I got carrots if you got tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got onions if you got cucumbers. It's time for that, family. It's really time for those kind of things. Let's see. Kwame, send your friend request. I thought we was friends. Let's see. Family, y'all got anything to share with me? Hey, Kevin and Katrina and Abner said here, but in Namibia, we were trying to take over government so we can get back all our land and resources, so we the youth can build our country and produce what we consume. Yes. Yeah. It's time. And not just here, for across seas too. It's time for us to get closer to our own people. Our own people. I'm looking over there, African. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. He called just to check up, and he was telling me his mother and stepfather had went on over to was it Ghana or Nigeria? One of the two. And in the midst of all this, he said his mother said, I ain't coming back. She said, I ain't coming back. She said, America actually sent a plane over too for those who were there who wanted to, come back, who felt that they were stuck or whatever. She said, I ain't getting on that plane. I mean, can you blame her? I'm looking at the stats. They got a ticker. They got a few websites out there, but one in particular. And I go on, it's a real-time, live database where they show you the ticker of all the people who got coronavirus, who's died from coronavirus, who's really sick, definitely ill with it, and who recovered, right? So I'm looking at all the countries, and I'm strolling, and I get to Africa. Family. Africa, I'm hearing things like, when the virus hit Africa, it's going to be bad, or it's coming, or the doomsday coming. I'm like, when? Because they over that joker with 1 or 2 deaths in the whole continent. I'm exaggerating, but really, in comparison to the European nations. So if I was there right now, shit, I would have to sit myself still. Why would you want to come back to this right now with all this death around? One of my good customers yesterday died from the coronavirus. She was a sweet woman, really sweet. I used to see her all the time. She would come through, at least once a week. Gone. Out of here, family. This virus ain't no joke, and those of you who still out there, you know what I'm saying, them y'all naysayers, spreading that silliness, talking about something, this ain't no big deal, and it ain't nothing but a flu, and more people die from the flu, and all. Y'all better pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better read up and study on these things and these pandemics and these what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it used to be a word they used to use back in the day. Plagues. Yeah. So people don't understand that the plagues, almost every 100 years or so, a major plague produces itself. You know, and it's been happening forever. You look at them ancient books of old that tell you right in them scriptures that plagues took place and wiped out so much. The last plague in 1818, I believe it was, somewhere around that time, about 100 years ago, took out 2 million people. It took out 2 million people. Y'all study up on this stuff. Yeah, so, you know, I hear the theories, and this was created in a lab, and America's hands in it, or I heard so much Russia got a hand, or China. I hear all that. I'm not, for those of you who believe that concretely and firmly, I ain't even here to contest you on it, because I don't know. I'll be the first to say I don't know, and none of us know for real. You know what I'm saying? We don't know for a fact what exactly happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's 1,001 theories out here, because we really don't know. But what I do know, what I like to do, is I hear it. You know, I hear it. I pay attention. I hear all the theories. I watch the video. That's why I say y'all bombard me. Y'all be bombarding my inbox. You know what I'm saying? With all kind of theories, and this is what happened, and this is the 5G, and all. You know, I get it all. And but for me, you know, I don't like to jump out there with no concrete, this is what happened, and I'm sure of it, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'd be lying. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I wasn't there if it was created in a lab. I wasn't there when it was done. I wasn't there when it was released. You know what I'm saying? So all that is to be, if we were honest with ourselves, it's all theory. But what I do know, and what I like to stick with, is fact. What I do know is that about every 100 years, a plague washes over the earth. And we were due. We were due for another one, because here we are about 100 years later. And it's been going on for centuries. I mean, it's been going on forever. They wrote about it. And we can look at books from thousands of years ago that they wrote about plagues back then. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I don't like to give this beast the credit that the force higher than myself should have. I believe there's a force higher than myself that has it, that has a hand on everything. Everything. This whole world and how it operates, and the trees and the birds and the grass and you and I, and you know what I'm saying, and then to deny that the intelligence of life itself, that, you know what I'm saying, that same hand can't have a play right now and what's going on. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying, I don't like to just give up that, all that, you know what I'm saying, because I just don't. Sitting still, I got a few notes here that I had wanted to mention too, but the main thing I wanted to talk about was this church scenario. And how right now, you know what I'm saying, we're in a position to be able to just sit still and go inward and focus in and make plans and really stop to take a look. You know, I had my brother sent me a YouTube video, about a 10-minute video yesterday. It was so impactful. The man was sharing how he said all this is divine. You know, all of this is, if you believe that the Creator has his hands in some things, why not, you know, how can you believe he has his hands in some things and not believe he has his hands in all things? When does he just like stop? You know what I'm saying? He just like stops and be like, okay, I created man, and so now I'm walking away now. You know what I'm saying? So if you believe that there's a force higher than yourself, then when does that force stop creating? So that's just some things that that be on my mind these days. And again, I ain't trying to change nobody's mind. You believe what you want to believe. But for me, I err on the side of logic. And I know for me, the intelligent thing for me to do when I don't know for sure is to say that. You know what I'm saying? Is to say that. I said on another video previous to this one. Because what happens is when I can put myself in that frame of mind and accepting that I don't know, I don't have all the answers, then the answers start to reveal themselves to me because I'm open for them. As opposed to saying 5G did this, I know for a fact that's what it is, concrete, can't nobody tell me nothing different, I'm going down. You know what I'm saying? Where in that space do you open yourself up to allow yourself to gain answers if you're wrong? You know what I'm saying? So you could be dead wrong, but you standing on something that you don't even have concrete evidence or proof about. And so anything else that come your way, you ain't even open to seeing and suggesting of it because you didn't confirm for yourself that that's what it is. So for me, I don't like to use my brain in that way. Shiloh said they have a clue, they just don't care about the worker bees. Patrick, no black man or woman is above condition of your people. Yeah, that's Minister Farrakhan right there again. I'm sure he got that quote from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, his own teacher, is who, for any spiritual guidance on this earthly plane, you know what I'm saying? I go to him more so than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at another person, another individual, I'm going to him because you look at his life. You know what I'm saying? You look at his life, what he teaches and how he teaches and what he was able to create and produce. That man created his own army. Good God, you know what I'm saying? You go all over the world and they know about the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? All he teaching is righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Those who, everybody had a preconceived notion. Again, that's because they don't know. Those who always bashing the minister and saying negative things about him. When I get into a conversation one-on-one with these type of individuals, I come to the understanding that they ain't even paying attention to him for real. Because if they were, they wouldn't say half the things they say about the man. But you know what I'm saying? He teaching his people to grow their own food and do their own thing and run their own business and separate from your enemy and all the kind of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that makes sense to me, make logical sense. So Aneb says there are answers some of us have thought about and studied the society or place in it and what happens to the underclass, black African people in America when a society goes through its growing pains as it does and it's reborn more advanced. A lot of us study, I do too, I pride myself in doing that too. But again, for me, I pride myself if I don't have all the answers, I don't mind saying that, I don't mind saying that because I never want to get haughty and above my own head and thinking I know everything when the fact of the matter is things are changing by the second. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I prefer to share the information that I can back up with evidence. That's just my preference. Hey, Shalita. Yeah, Patrick, you got food growing out there. Yeah, that's real talk. So, hey sis, I just tuned in. Is all of that a church member community garden? I wish. No, that was my point. No, this land here, let me turn it back around so who just tuned in can see. This land here belongs to B.K. Miller, Miller Farm. Europeans own it, and I ain't even mad at them. I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? I just saying we need to do our own thing too. Look at the tractor getting it in. Can y'all see that? Yeah, all this is farmland, man. They growing. They ready. Springtime, they getting it in. And I'm right next to a Baptist church. But my point in all that was to say, where is the church's garden? I don't know. They might have a little small one in the back. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, look at all what they have. Look at all what they create. And when you go into their grocery store down the street, guess who worked there? 95% of the people who work there look like them. I'm sure it's family. They're family. They set their own family up, which they should. You know, we get mad at these people when they don't hire us, and you know, when they put their own people before us and shit. What? Excuse my French. Why aren't we doing the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Self-preservation is the first law of nature. If I'm gonna build something, build a whole industry for me, and it's time to start hiring. I'm not gonna go into some other person's community and start hiring them over my own family. That's insane. That's insane. So, you know, for us to get mad at them because they know you build your own empire. Build your own. And then that way your own family will have theirs too. And that's where we are right now. We are in a place where we can't see our level of dependency on these people. We depend on these people for everything. To teach our children in the schools, to hire us at their jobs, to feed us at their grocery stores, to clothe us at their stores. We depend on these people for everything, and then when they don't, it's insanity when you think about it. And when they don't play ball, you know, when we think that they're not doing right by us, we want to get mad and boycott and picket. No, we'll help build your own grocery stores and build your own schools for your children. Build your own retail shops and malls and centers. That's my point. That's my point here. And what's out here stopping us? Really nothing. And it's a mind state. It's a mind state. The only thing stopping us is that we haven't decided yet on a large scale, collectively, not everybody. I'm not foolish enough to believe everybody going to jump on board. But enough of us haven't decided that a legacy for our children is that important. We still in a dependent state. We're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? We're comfortable with government jobs and, you know what I'm saying, our Mercedes-Benzes, and we get the scraps of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And while they take the fruit, the abundance. And we're really good with that, because if we weren't good with that, we'd be doing something different right about now. So my whole point in the matter is we got to shake the foundation a little bit and stop being so comfortable. So our own children can have more, you know. And right now, you know, in our faith, who do we really put our faith in? Really, who are we really? If we honestly being honest with ourselves, who are we putting our faith in right now? We putting our faith in the Most High, or are we putting our faith in the United States government? You know, gotta think about that kind of stuff for real, because I'm looking at what's going on right now on this green earth, and especially right here in America, with the epicenter, with the eye of the storm right now. The eye of the storm. And what we doing right now is we taking our cues from the television. You know, wear your mask, stay 6 feet away from each other, stay indoors, you know what I'm saying? Curfew. Now they telling you now, I'm in Maryland. They just put out a curfew this morning. If you caught outside after 8 p.m., you getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? These are rules and regulations that these people put for our own lives. And I understand this, you know, it's for your own safety and all that. But you know, how different would things be if we had our own community and was making our own rules and the laws that we abide by and things? People look like you and me. Let something go down, some trouble go down in the community. We ain't gotta look. There ain't no white police officer coming to slam our son on the ground and step on his head, because you got your own brothers and sisters that's coming and making sure that this order, law and order, taking place and where you stay and everything around you. You know what I'm saying? The laws and everything that takes for a society to run successfully is run by people that look like you and I. How would that feel? What would that look like? How much pride would that be instilling in our own children to see that and to grow up in that kind of environment? And why are we moving towards that? You know, why? And these are some things we should really be asking ourselves. You know, do we really want to continue on to be dependent on the children of the slave master, the slave master's children? So who do you really trust? Who are we really putting our trust in? Are we putting our trust in the Creator, or are we putting our trust in those who run this society? You know? So self-reliance, do for self, being independent. What does that look like? What is the roadmap to getting there? For me, that's always in the forefront of my mind. You know what I'm saying? Always. I'm always trying to figure out how I can be, how I can get further and further off this system, this treadmill. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a good time to start thinking about those kind of things. We at home now. A lot of us can't go out if we wanted to. We're on the risk of getting locked up. So we home now. So we can take this time to worry and be concerned and have anxiety and be stressed out and try to figure out how to get back to some level of normalcy and all that stuff. Or we can really take this time to go in and really do some really deep thinking about what we doing here in our life. And this could be a blessing in disguise. You know, it really could. It could be a blessing in disguise, but we don't even know it because we caught up in trying to get back to where how things used to be. You know what I'm saying? What if moving forward and going in a different direction ain't a much better life? How do we know that? How do we not know that if we switch gears and move in a totally different direction than where we were, that won't be salvation? That won't be heaven on earth, you know, as opposed to getting back to the treadmill of going to work, coming home, cooking, you know, cooking foods that are filled with all kind of pesticides and GMOs and, you know what I'm saying, coming down with all kind of ailments because we eating foods filled with all kind of chemicals and stressed out because we on the jobs that we don't even like. Don't have the people who work there we don't associate with, but you know what I'm saying, we got to go there anyway and not appreciate, can't rob Peter to pay Paul because we ain't making as much. Meanwhile, the wealthy of the earth, you know what I'm saying, they're taking the piece of the pie, we taking crumbs while the wealthy people got the full chunk. You know what I'm saying? How do we not know that moving forward in a whole different direction ain't a better, more peaceful, more, you know what I'm saying, more healthy life for us and our children? I'm just throwing it out there. So family, I just wanted to mention too that I am still in business online. I thank you all again who are still purchasing from MaliksFashions.com. I sell things, that's true. I sell items, clothing, some jewelry, but I also sell health food items such as black seed oil. And right now, black seed oil is excellent to take because it's a natural immune system booster. So it's a bitter, and you take it like a vitamin once or twice a day by the 2 teaspoons, and it helps ward off colds and flus and boost your immune system naturally. I am selling that online as well as sage. Sage is another natural remedy that helps clean the air. They did a study on it. They put it up against Lysol, and it proved that sage actually cleans your air better than Lysol. So that's a good thing to have right now. So especially if you're in a house with a lot of people that are still coming and going, maybe you nurses, doctors, and people out there, or in the health field, and it's good to sage your house once a day. Or if somebody else in your house is sick, and you don't want the rest of the people in the house to catch it, it's good to sage, and it's good and wars off negative energy. That's another remedy that's been around for thousands of years. A lot of this stuff, family, been curing and healing for thousands of years. And what we do is another thing. We get away from what our ancestors have taught us, and we go and we take pharmaceutical drugs and things like that, when the drugs kill more people in this country than any other thing annually. More people die from pharmaceutical drugs than car accidents. So we get away from the things that heal us naturally. It's almost like the white man's ice is colder theory. And we go to pharmaceutical drugs and things like that, thinking that that's going to be the best suitable thing for us. All the while, the natural things are healing us naturally and curing us naturally, and the pharmaceutical drugs is killing us. It's deep, it's deep when we stop to really think about what we really doing to ourselves. Shungite is another thing I sell on my Malik's Fashions website. They're stones. They're all natural stones. They are carbon stones, and they've been proven to ward off electromagnetic waves. So it's like an energy wave blocker. So all this 5G and stuff that's coming down the pike, if you guys aren't familiar with what all the rumbling is about, look it up, study it, research it. There's a lot of reputable scientists and people that are coming down on this 5G, saying it's very dangerous. I've been seeing a whole lot of not a whole lot. I've been seeing a few videos of where 5G is up and running, and they showing you where the trees, like if they got a 5G tower next to a tree, and the plate in the side of the tree where the tower sits, there's no leaves, bark, it's bare. But on the opposite side of the tree is plush and green, and the leaves are growing, and they're linking that to the 5G. They're saying the 5G is killing off, a lot of the habitat in the area. So if it's doing that, what the heck is it doing to our bodies? So shungite helps to ward off and prevent a lot of those electromagnetic waves from entering your body. I do sell those stones on my website as well. And what else? It was something else I wanted to mention. Sage and a black seed and a shungite. There was one other thing. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Okay, well there's some other things, that's some natural healing things that I offer too on my website. So check that out, maliksfashions.com. Everything I ship is free. I ship for free, and I get it out to you as long as the post office is open. So yeah, family, let me see what else y'all talking about on here. Man, how y'all feeling? Let me go to the bottom. Amber says, yeah, me too. Love what the sister is busy with. Yeah, we must grow our own food. Yeah, Katrina, I agree. Change is law of life. Yeah, nothing stays the same. And only, my dad used to say, only a dissatisfaction will bring upon change. And a complete dissatisfaction will bring upon total change. So yeah, it's like you got to get shaken. We got to get our ground got to be shaken before we would a lot of us would change. You know what I'm saying? We don't just change just because if things are going what we think is hunky-dory and fine. We don't have no incentive to do anything different. But it's times like this, you know what I'm saying, when people become dissatisfied with what's going on around them, that they're prepared and they're ready, their minds are ready for a shift. I tend to think that this is just the Earth's way of recalibrating. You know what I'm saying? We are, ain't no word, we are heading down a dangerous road when it comes to like global climate change and you know what I'm saying, or the emissions in the air, and you know what I'm saying, he was over there, you know, in China eating all kind of animals that, you know what I'm saying, eating any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? We the stewardess of the earth. So we were here, the viceroys. We were here to, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to rule over anything that creepeth and crawleth upon the earth. We are here to rule over it. And we over here killing and slaughtering by the millions and eating shit we ain't even, you know what I'm saying, we ain't eating any damn animal we could see. You know what I'm saying? Just abuse and neglect and just all that. And we think we ain't got to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? These European nations don't think that they can put a stronghold and a clamp down on everybody else in the world, the weaker nations of the world, and force slavery upon them and overthrow their governments and put their, you know, their puppet political figures in there. You know, so they can steal all their resources and all this you know, what now? Sex trafficking now. You could buy children and do whatever God knows what to little children and babies and things. And you really think that you could do all this in the world and the world don't correct itself? And nature don't find a way to correct all that madness and sickness? Yeah, this and it's the world. It's just a bunch of sickness out here. So I see all this is nature saying, sit the hell down. And everybody ain't gonna survive either. They dropping like flies all around us. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't have all the answers, but I know a lot of us like to reject that Bible. I'm not I grew up, my father was he converted to a Muslim, and he was in the nation before I was born. So he was taught under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and so I grew up understanding the tenements of Islam, you know. But I don't proclaim to practice any religions. You know what I'm saying? Islam is my base. I definitely, you know what I'm saying, the teachings of Islam, you know, I live by. You know, and the teachings of Christianity, you know, the righteous, because it's the people who practice it that, you know what I'm saying, contorted and twisted. But I'm saying all that to say, we like to reject those ancient books of old. It's what I like to call them, the Holy Quran and the Bible, the Torah, things like that. We like to reject those books as nonsense, although they've been around for thousands of years, and although everything we living through have been scribed on them books. You know what I'm saying? You go back, you see that's the blueprint. Even this plague right now today. You know what I'm saying? So we like to reject all that without even understanding that everything that they talked about, we ain't doing them but living it out. History always repeats. So, you know, I just think we don't have the proper understanding of things, and a lot of times, and we want to throw the baby out with the bath water, and we want to reject everything. And I understand, you know, a lot of us do that because we know them beasts then put their hands on that Bible in particular and tampered with it, which is true, you know. But that don't mean there's not truth in that book. That don't mean there's not goodness in that book. You know what I'm saying? If you run across somebody who you know, attempts to live by like the life and times of Jesus, you know, whether he was alive or not, those who are around us who attempt to live like that, those people are good natured. They're good people. They're not evildoers. So there's some good in those books. And when you look at them and realize that everything that is in them, we ain't doing them but playing it out. So I don't reject those books so easily, especially when I know who the originators are. You know what I'm saying? The perpetrators and came about and contorted and twisted But the originators, you can't have that much goodness in a book and it ain't come from us. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that much goodness in a book and it didn't originate from us. That alone lets me know who created those books, because we, black people in general are good-natured people. You know what I'm saying? It's our predicaments that we are placed in that make us other than ourselves, that make us react and behave in ways that are other than our nature, outside of our nature. So, yeah, that's why I'm a staunch advocate for separation, because I understand that when you get into a society and you become and you merge yourself into a society and you're not the dominant force in that society, then by nature, naturally, you begin to pick up the ways and the mores and the behaviors of those of the dominant society. You know what I'm saying? That's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's just human nature. And so that's what happens to us. Here we are in this melting pot, so far removed from who we are naturally, completely removed. We're more like them than we are of our natural selves. That's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. We carry their names. We speak their language. Ain't none of us English. You know what I'm saying? But we speak it. You know what I'm saying? Their customs and their traditions, we pick up, the Christmas and the Halloweens and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we do it. We are so much absorbed in it that we don't even realize it. We go through our day to day and don't even realize that. Wow, wait, you know what I'm saying? Who am I outside of what the European has taught me? We go to their schools, we learn, their customs. That's how we get them. We get them from them schools, and then we carry it on, and our children, we learn them, and we teach them to our children, and then people like me come along and point it out, and then you get mad at me for pointing out the obvious, because now I'm an outsider, because everybody else is going along. It's living the life of a European. And so I say, well, wait a minute. Who were we before we became a European? You know what I'm saying? Who were we before we started speaking English? And before we became a Williams and a Jones? You know what I'm saying? Who were we before all this? No, you want to reject all that. But that, for me, is from the way I see life, that's where the salvation is. We can't be our higher selves. We can't operate at a place of excellence trying to be something other than ourselves. That's like a dog trying to be a cat. Dog will never be a cat. You know what I'm saying? The dog's nature is not to be a cat. The dog nature is to bark. A cat nature is to meow and to do what the cat do. But here we are in this society attempting to be like a European. And we don't like to hear that, but it's the truth. We don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. Let's see. Hey, Sister Anika. That's my sister, spirit. Hold on to the rope of Allah. Yes, ma'am. The mighty, mighty rope. And ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of us, got, angels or none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The non-sinners, we all, we every last one of us got some stuff with us, me included. But when you strive towards righteousness, you know what I'm saying? When you strive towards excellence, that's a whole lot different life than accepting mediocrity and denying truth, or just living just to be living, without any goals in sight or plans or any drive or strive to even want more. So hold on to the rope of Allah. Yes, ma'am, Anika. That's where I'm going. And some people out here like to shake your faith too. There's a lot of them folks on my page. They laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? Call you fat Bible thumpers and all that kind of stuff. I would ignore those kind of folks. Those kind of folks, in my opinion, are really the ones that are lost. Because, you know what I'm saying, they don't have anything to hold on to. They believe that you know, we all are gods, little gods. That's what I believe. But there's some people that really will, you know, when you start talking about a force higher than yourself, I'm God. You can't tell me I'm the God. And I'm like, well, what about how you created yourself? Tell me how that's done. And so you don't give homage, and you don't give appreciation, and you don't give thanks. You don't bow down to the one that the one or he or she or the entity, whatever, that created you. So for me, that's like, what does that say about you internally? And those are usually the people that's willy-nilly. They don't, you know, because I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, yeah. Baba said, this is why land should be the only reparation we request. We gotta take it. These people ain't gonna give us nothing. They didn't prove that to us. They'll kill themselves. They'll kill themselves before they give anything up to us. Yeah, because they're open enemies. You know, so they ain't gonna give us nothing. We can beg, we can demand, we can request, we can ask, but we gonna have to take what it is that we want. You know, that's just the bottom line. If we want it that bad. Hey dear, it's my cousin. Hey Makado, I was watching your stream, your live stream the other day. If you still on here, I appreciate you too. I was laughing so hard at you. You was angry. You was mad. But you was on the same tip. You're like, what are we doing? Let's get out here. You know, this brother got his own business. He running his own t-shirt business, doing great for himself down the road. And you know, and he's attempting to bring other people into the fray. Let's get this money together. He got a plan in place to be able to you know, let's pool our money, and we all can eat. So Makado, thank you for that. Yeah, I was peeping you on that one. Good stuff. Asada said we should have never integrated. We had much more as a people 50 years ago as far as ownership. Yeah, I think all of this is divine, you know, order. I do. I really think all of this is divine order. I don't understand it. I don't understand why there's so much suffering have to take place. I don't have all the answers, but I do believe that there's some things that we have to deal with. That's in the Bible as well. I believe it's the Bible or the Quran. I'm getting them mixed up. It says, know of a surety, Abraham, thy seed will be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. The Bible say this. And upon the affliction, and now I'm paraphrasing. But once they come out of that affliction, the Creator said, I will judge thee. Then I'm going to judge how they treated those people. So, hey, we the only ones been a stranger in a land that is not ours. Who else on earth been in a land that's not theirs and been afflicted and been enslaved for 400 years? You know, to me, that sounds like us. And then, you know, but the end of that scripture is wonderful, because the end of that scripture said we're going to come up out of that. And we're going to be the ones that take over. My dad, again, my father. Oh, I miss him so much sometimes. He used to say, we're going to have all this in a minute. All this going to be ours in a minute. Just hang on. Yeah, I believe that's divine. We are, and Allah never lies. Allah never lies. So if he says that all this going to be ours in a minute, I believe him. Johnson says, may the peace and blessings of success be unto you more abundantly with return of safe travels by the grace of mercy. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Ashe, family, I love all you guys. I really do. I love my people so much. I'm the one that when you get into a conversation and some folks start talking about black people this, and we need to do that, we ain't doing this shit right, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll let you say enough, but after a while, I'm going to take up for y'all. I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Like a mother hen. Damn it, they're my damn people. I ain't gonna let you sit there and talk bad about us. Not for long, because I believe in us. I really do. I believe in us. Even the ones that ain't got their head straight. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that we got to put a whole lot of work into. And I ain't naive enough to believe that we can save them all. You know, I get that. I know that. You know, some gonna fall by the wayside. That's just life, and that's the way it is. But I believe that we are the most powerful force on this earth. I believe that. And I believe that we can do anything we put our minds to. I believe that with all my heart, and so I have my faith resting in that. Because if I didn't believe that, what am I doing? What's the point of what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? I might as well lose hope, lose faith, accept what is, and bow down. I ain't doing that. My spirit won't allow me to do that. Kenneth says, I am studying hydroponics, where you can grow things all year round, just not certain if it is healthy from the ground. Yeah, I know Dr. Claude Anderson has a hydroponic fish pond. I think I'm saying that right. I think it's the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, family. Up in Eastern Maryland somewhere, I believe. So yeah, he grows fish. I think it's trout or whiting, one of the fish. And yeah, so yeah, that's what time it is. It's time for us to start thinking in those areas. It's great that we have barbershops and beauty supply stores and restaurants here and there, and that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking any of that. But it's time for us to start thinking about manufacturing and distribution and trade and cross seas and what's the other thing when you making your own clothing and stuff and you have all that equipment to be able to do all that. Yeah, I mean, look at China. What is stopping us? We have the talent, we have the creativity, hands down. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody touch us in that realm. You know what I'm saying? We got the talent in all areas. You know what I'm saying? We all areas. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, retail, artists. We got talent all over the place. And we got enough of us here that got money. You know, the only thing we lack is the will. The will to want to do something more for ourselves. And it's a mindset thing. You know, a lot of us are just convinced that we're all the same. We're all the same except for the color of our skin. Oh, this is America. I'm American now. This is a big melting pot. This is my home. And, you know what I'm saying? All white people ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? We get all those notions in our head. And we start to really believe that we are really like one of them. We are with them in this society. Meanwhile, they got control of everything. Meanwhile, most of our people scraping and scratching to get by. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mind state shift. We got to really understand where we are. You know, really, in reality. Because right now we in fantasy land. We really are. Crackers growing at right now. That's exactly what we got to do. I can't wait to do the show. Me and Patrick going to do a show, family, but check him out because he's got some good stuff to share. Good stuff. Hey, Lynn. Exactly. You can't be mad because they want our people. Yeah, you can't be mad at these people for doing what they do. Let me turn this back around, then I'm going to get off this thing. I'm going to show you guys one more time why the main reason why I jumped on here. But Larry said the time to listen to folks you call crazy when they was talking about nation building. When they are oppressed, who you are dependent on kill themselves. Woo! What will you do? You better teach on that, Larry. I just got finished talking about who the strongest force on the earth is. He said when they start killing themselves, that's real talk. What will you do? Them people you look at to save you, they start jumping out of 20-story buildings to overdosing off a bunch of pills because they don't know how to survive. What will you do? That's real talk. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, it's time for nation building. But I'm going to turn this around. Yeah, we the strongest people on earth. We've proven that. You know what I'm saying? They start jumping out of buildings when the going get tough. Times like this, you're going to see a whole lot of that too, watch. Mark my word. You're going to see a whole lot. Oh, look, the whole 100, all these CEOs. Let me turn this back around one more time. Real quick, I want to make that point. And then I'll show you guys, and I'm getting off of this. Thank you, Larry, for bringing that up. That's an excellent point. It ain't getting a lot of airplay either. All these CEOs, there's over 100 CEOs stepped down in this country, like within a 30-day time period or something, like real short recently. So I'm like, what the hell? They said it was unprecedented, family. It has never ever happened before, ever. Why are all these heads of these major corporations leaving, running for the door, all at the same time, right now? What is that about? We gotta really be tuned in. We gotta be tuned in, because I'm like, okay, what do they know that we don't? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm thinking, did they see the writing on the wall before it got here and they don't want no parts? Because the story behind the story of the corona is this stock market, is this economy, is the crash of this dollar. And where we are right now, the Federal Reserve just dropped the interest rate down to zero. Zero. You know what I'm saying? They flatten the market with trillions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they have to. You know what I'm saying? They fighting over the oil prices down. Now you can get, you happy because you can get gas now for half the price you could get it 2 weeks ago. But there's a reason for all that, family. And we need to be more tuned in to what's going on economically, because you don't want to be caught holding the bag. You don't want to be caught holding an empty bag. They out the back door with all the gold, and you in the front holding a bag of dollars that are worthless, that ain't worth nothing. So these heads of these corporations, over 100 of them, dropped out, just gone, stepped down. I'm out of here. They said, and they said this happens sometimes. Never been this many. They say when it does happen, it's usually in a time of recession, in a time when the market is doing real bad. But they start dropping off before this happened. So it's like, the confusion was like, why would you leave the head of a corporation that is turning profit, that's in the green, that's doing real good, in the black, that's doing real good? Why would you leave? So that's the question mark. People stump. And this is not getting a lot of airplay. I posted a couple times on my page. People just slide right on past it. But it's an important point. It's an important thing. You might want to tune into that. Where are these CEOs and why are they dropping off all of a sudden? I'm thinking, and I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking they got a tip that none of us know about, and they getting the hell out of Dodge for the stuff really hit the fan. Because this dollar thing is serious right now. And gold, I said, if you ain't got none by now, you might want to invest. You don't want to get caught holding no bag of dollars, and they ain't worth pennies. And I was just reading something this morning. They were saying how they said this is just the beginning. They said we won't even see the real blunt of the economy being as bad as it is for another year. They start going over the whole thing about how the small businesses, because that's what keeps the economy going for real. A lot of the small businesses, because those are the ones who do a lot of hiring and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm running out of battery juice. I don't want to get too much off, but my point is to say all that to say that we in some perilous times with a lot of uncertainty. Perilous times with a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot going on right now, even outside of the corona thing. This corona thing is causing a ricochet effect. That's why Trump keep getting up there screaming, everybody gonna be in church come Easter. He gotta say that. They understand that if they don't get this economy back up and running and quick, they risk losing the whole thing. They risk losing their whole shirt. Really, that's real talk. But I'm gonna get off of this thing right now. I just would say get some gold, protect your assets, protect yourself, look into the future, pay attention to what's going on. You know, you don't want to get sucked in, but you really do want to know what the hell's going on. And one last thing before I go, I want to show you guys one last time. All this is, I'm on Piscataway Road in Prince George's County, Maryland, which is the richest county for black people in the whole country. Right here, Prince George's County, Maryland. 78% of the entire county, citizens in the county are black people. So everywhere you go, your doctor, your lawyer, your attorney, your dentist, the post office, I mean, wherever you go, you see black people. But look here, in the heart of the county, all this farmland belongs to Europeans. This is Miller Farm. And they got the grocery store they have down the street. And I patronize them too. You know what I'm saying? I do. Because a lot of their food, as you can see, is homegrown. And a lot of their fruit got seeds in them. And I'll be looking for that. It's a little bit more pricier than your regular grocery stores. A little, not much. But it's worth it for me. And I do patronize them. So I'm not here to, you know what I'm saying, knock one and build another. I'm just making a point. Here's Miller Farm. Getting it in. Right next to the Baptist church. Right next to the, so here's the faith. And here's the works. The scriptures say faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying? So all my Christian family, I love you all out there. I appreciate you. And I ain't even trying to knock the church. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, what we doing? What we doing? Because there's a lot. The church is shoot. That's one of the strongest foundations for black people. But it's like, why? What all the money that going to the church? I remember, I forget who it was who broke this down. I think it was Umar Johnson. Broke down how the church, you know, a lot of these mega churches. This is a small church considering a lot of churches here in PG County I see. You know what I'm saying? This is small. But anyway, he was saying how the churches will gather all the money that they get from the tithing and offerings and stuff, and then to dump them in the European banks. And when the church or when we need loans and stuff for our own businesses, we can't even get loans from them banks. But they take all our money and use it towards what they want to do with it. The bankers and the people, they do, you know, they do it to help build and support their own people, in which they should. You know what I'm saying? That's every people on earth do that. We the only ones that look for somebody else to give us something. You know what I'm saying? Chinatown got Chinatown. They got their own banks. You go to Chinatown, the bank's written. You can't even spell out the word of the bank. You don't even know what the name of the bank is because it's in Chinese. Right downtown. Why? Because they doing their own thing in Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do their own thing except for us. And right down the street, about a mile and a half or so down the street, is BK Miller's. It's Miller Farm. So Miller, they own the liquor store. That don't stay jumping too. BK Miller's, they own the grocery store. And they got all this farmland. And I'm sure they probably got more somewhere else I don't know about. You know, they probably got more somewhere else I don't even have a clue about. But I'm just making a point that right here in the middle of Prince George's County, where we got all these black people, and we still watching while other people getting it in. And we watch and we pray. And we wait for them to wait for their harvest to come up. And so we can go and stand in line at their grocery store and buy their stuff. Why can't this church own this stuff? Why can't? What's stopping us from owning our own, the church having a piece of this land and growing crops and stuff for their own congregates? What's stopping us? It's a mind state shift. That's it. Okay, family, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys always coming in and joining me on the conversations. And again, I'm not looking to offend anybody. And if I did offend you, please forgive me. That's not my intent to offend, but the truth hurts the guilty. Sometimes the truth is a painful pill to swallow, and I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not sitting up here saying things that's trying to lead you down a bad negative path or lead you in the wrong way. I'm just saying, I would hope I'm just saying some things that help build us, to lift us up, to put us in a better position. And sometimes, you know, the things that the truth is hurtful, it's painful, but we need to hear that. We need to sit in that truth too. Ooh, ran out. Oh, shoot. Y'all see me? All right, I'm off of here. I thought it went dead. Peace and blessing, family.